Welcome to Doctor's Legacy. Today, we are not just scratching the surface. We are diving deep into the physiological and biochemical realities of the human body to debunk 5 of the most persistent health myths of the modern age. Our goal is to bridge the gap between complex medical journals and your daily life. The image of a dedicated athlete is almost always synonymous with a body drenched in sweat. We see it in movies, in sports commercials, and on every fitness influencer's page. The glow of perspiration is marketed as the ultimate proof of a successful workout. This has led to the birth of one of the most persistent lies in the fitness world, the idea that sweat is literally fat melting off your body. People go to extreme lengths to trigger this response, from wearing heavy hoodies in 90-degree heat to wrapping their midsections in plastic waste trimmers, or spending hours in saunas, specifically to see a lower number on the scale. But if we pull back the curtain of Jim Bro wisdom and look at the actual clinical biochemistry of the human body, we find that sweat has almost nothing to do with the permanent loss of adipose tissue. To understand why this is a myth, we have to look at the human body as a highly efficient thermal machine. Our internal organs, especially the brain and heart, require a very stable temperature to function, usually around 37 degrees Celsius. When you engage in physical activity, your muscles consume energy in the form of ATP. However, muscle contraction is remarkably inefficient. Only about 20% to 25% of that energy goes into movement, while the remaining 75% to 80% is released as pure heat. If your body didn't have a way to dump that heat, your internal temperature would skyrocket within minutes, leading to organ failure. This is where your 2 to 4 million endocrine glands come in. Your brain's hypothalamus detects the rise in blood temperature and triggers these glands to release a fluid made primarily of water, sodium, and small amounts of potassium and urea. The magic, however, isn't in the liquid hitting your skin. It's in the physics of evaporation. As the water on your skin turns into vapor, it absorbs a massive amount of heat from your body and carries it away into the atmosphere. This is a cooling mechanism, pure and simple. It is the body's radiator. Now compare this to the actual process of fat loss known as lipolysis. When your body needs to use stored fat for fuel, it breaks down triglycerides into glycerol and fatty acids through a series of complex metabolic pathways like the Krebs cycle. These components are converted into energy. The waste products of this chemical reaction are not primarily sweat. They are water and carbon dioxide. In fact, a landmark study published in the British Medical Journal revealed that when you lose 10 kilograms of fat, 8.4 kilograms of that fat actually leaves your body through your lungs as CO_ to when you exhale. The rest becomes water that is excreted through urine. This means that the heavy breather on the treadmill who is barely sweating because of the air conditioning is actually losing more fat than the person sitting still in a sauna dripping wet. The person in the sauna is experiencing a scale victory that is entirely an illusion, because 1 liter of water weighs exactly 1 kilogram. Losing 2 liters of sweat will make the scale show you are 2 kilograms lighter. But this is not fat loss. It is dehydration. The very second you drink water, which you must do to survive, your cells will act like thirsty sponges and soak that weight right back up. Furthermore, forcing yourself to sweat excessively can actually sabotage your real fat loss goals. When you are overheated, your heart has to work double time not to power your muscles, but to pump blood to the surface of your skin to aid in cooling. This leads to premature fatigue. In a cool environment, you might be able to run for an hour, burning 600 calories. In a stifling hot environment, you might be forced to stop after 20 minutes because of dizziness or heat exhaustion, burning only 200 calories. By chasing the sweat, you have actually burned 400 fewer calories. Beyond the inefficiency, there is a genuine medical danger. Chasing sweat leads to the loss of critical electrolytes like sodium and magnesium, which are the electrical signals that tell your heart to beat and your muscles to move. Excessive sweating without proper rehydration thickens the blood, making it harder for the heart to circulate oxygen. This doesn't just make you tired. It puts you at risk for heat stroke and cardiovascular stress. At Doctor's Legacy, the message is clear. Stop using your sweat glands as a measure of your progress. Fat is oxidized in the mitochondria and exhaled through the lungs. It is not melted through the skin. If you want to know if you're burning fat, listen to your breath and monitor your heart rate, not the dampness of your shirt. High sweat only means you are hot. High intensity means you are changing your body.